My children were little, all in car seat. I was going over a bridge, and I thought if I just accidentally go overboard, then they'll think it was just an accident. I won't look weak. I won't look like that I succumb to depression. This is real. I mean, we have postpartum. We're overwhelmed. Children are a lot. The husbands aren't participating, and you don't have a very healthy relationship. Then you're just left to navigate and try to figure out those emotions while still changing diapers and sleepless nights and earaches and all of that. Money is going to be the only thing that's going to get me out of this.
Welcome to the Real Estate Connecting Podcast, where I bring people from all over the United States. And today we have a very special guest. I actually met her at a real estate meetup, and we're actually going to talk about connecting, what is important for us to connect in real estate. But most importantly, we're going to get to hear her story today. Tristan, welcome in.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yes. So we're going to get started with the very first question. And I think this is the most important because it actually makes the foundation of everything. When you were back as a little girl, 5 years old, what did you think you were going to become when you grew up?
Oh, a teacher.
A teacher. Why a teacher?
Absolutely going to be a teacher. I think I loved the the aspect of cutting and pasting projects, organizing, teaching, like showing people the brighter side of things, because I adored my teachers. I loved my teachers. I love how they poured into me. I loved how they believed in me. And then the hands-on the projects. Like I loved making a daffodil out of tissue paper. So everything, it felt like it was going to tap into all my creativity and then to be able to pour into somebody else.
Wow, I love that. And then you literally became a teacher with your kids growing up.
I did, yes. Decided to start having babies and homeschool them. Keep them under my wing so that I could teach them the ways and make sure that the outcome of what I wanted them to be and what I wanted them to see was a direct reflection of me and how committed I was to them.
That's huge. A full reflection of you is big because a lot of people nowadays don't even know what that means.
Right.
We were talking about the other day the topic of leadership, right? Because it was like, hey, who in here believes they're a leader? And later, that piqued my interest. So I was doing a little bit more investigation, and I was actually reading my Bible, and I have the John Maxwell Bible. And on there, it talks about leadership is about influence, right? So he says, whether you like it or whether you don't like it, you're influencing at all times. That means you're a leader. Now, if you're a bad leader, you could lead people in the wrong direction. If you're a good leader, obviously, you will help people. Right? So I love what you said. And something that stuck out to me is that all your kids are entrepreneurs.
Yes.
Right? They're always looking for something better.
Always.
So give us a little bit more background on that.
So I think it started with my kiddos watching me build a business and raise them, and they were with me, again, because I homeschooled, so they followed me, and they were with me everywhere I went. My now 30-year-old is just opened like a Montessori Waldorf center to help influence kids in the most positive way. They have a safe place. They get to be creative. They get to be outdoors. They get to pour into each other unconditionally. Lots of love, lots of peaceful guidance. In being nature, no stipulations, no hard cold building. Just be a very positive influence and make a difference in the community while doing exactly what she loves and being successful at it. So she has set the standard, went above and beyond, and she has a waiting list that I cannot even explain you how long it is, to where she has to open more centers now.
That is awesome. And you said a big word, Montessori something. Can you explain a little bit more of what that means?
Sure. So it's just a more free play, natural, back to the roots type setting, to where kids are not exposed to electronics. They are still in tune with who they are while they're developing as a young child, how to play naturally, how to navigate the world naturally, how to have like wooden tools and natural colors, not so much overstimulation, and they are just in a safe place to develop in that state.
So in simpler terms, we could say she's a teacher back in the era where there was no technology.
Yes.
Right? So she's developing the kids as far as like, hey, this is how you actually make colors, right? This is the roots of where everything comes. This is the plants. This is everything. Because she's doing it in nature.
She is. So she's doing like from seed to plant, and they get to watch it in like a clear cup, how it grows. and how you have to water it and how you sing to it and how you pour into it. And it's the same thing with they're watching quail hatch, and then they have rabbits and they have chickens and they have a garden. They get to harvest out of the garden. They get to plant the seeds in the garden.
And where's she located?
So she's in Maybank, Texas.
Maybank,
Texas.
Wow.
Miss Tuesday's Cottage School.
I am ready to take my kid.
Oh, you should.
Yeah.
I mean, all the parents want to go back to being 5, 6, 7 years old and have that experience, those core memories of beauty and love and nurturing.
And how many students does she have now?
50.
50.
Yes.
So she's looking to expand.
Oh, yes.
That is awesome. And I'm assuming this is not something that everybody knows about.
No, it's not. I mean, it's like a sweet little, it's like the best kept secret of East Texas, because typically you have to go to the bigger cities to get something like this. You would have to go to Tyler, or you'd have to go to Dallas. But what she has created, there's nothing like it. So word spread really fast. And then everybody sees the content. They see what she's doing, word of mouth, and they just could not sign up fast enough.
I love that. So, I mean, you put that in her, actually getting like natural things and actually making something, right? You do soap.
Yes.
That's your business.
Yeah, it is.
Tell us a little bit of how that got started.
Well, so with the soap industry, that got started out of necessity because I wanted to stay at home with my kids, but I also needed to make money. And then I had a kiddo, my son, who is now 18, had some pretty severe skin allergies. And so when you're trying to figure out what's happening with his skin, you pull back all the ingredients and you just start reevaluating and reassessing everything that you're exposing your children to. So we decided to go a non-toxic route. What I was feeding them and what I was putting in, on, and around their body, I learned really quickly that if you can't pronounce it, it doesn't need to be on their body. So we went from pulling back, the Bath and Body Works and Johnson & Johnson to coconut oil was the answer for everything. Baking soda is a huge part of our life. And then if you can buy it at the store, you can absolutely make it. You just use food-based ingredients. And then if you realize you can make soap, well, then you can make deodorant, and you can make tooth powder, and then you can make face sprays and moisturizers and all the things with no toxins.
So what do you actually do as far as right now? You do soap?
I do soap, and I have a whole face line. So face and body. I also make soy candles. Everything is scented naturally, colored naturally. Everything you can eat and is pronounced. It's stuff you can find in the pantry, or it's grown out of dirt. So nothing made in the lab, no chemicals, nothing, no preservatives. It's all just good, wholesome stuff that your body will recognize and appreciate.
That is so awesome. And you were mentioning that you still do everything to today.
I do. I still manufacture in-house locally. So my main store, which is in Canton, Texas, downtown, my warehouse is about 4 miles away. And that's where I still manufacture everything with these 2 hands.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it's a full operation.
And you guys might be asking, like, why are you guys talking about soaps and not real estate? But that literally led you to real estate.
It did. So when you're a business owner and you you rub elbows with people, you meet people, you have conversations with people that walk in like, hey, how are you? Where are you from? What do you do? What are you into? What led you here? Because, East Texas, it's pretty small. You have to come for a reason. So you ask questions. I'm a question asker. So when you start making money and you realize that you're really good at it, where are you going to put this money? How can you create more jobs? How can you grow? What is your passion? What drives you? And so that kind of turned into looking at real estate. Like, how can I have my money make me more money? How can I invest in not only myself, but also the community and create jobs? So that's how I kind of fast tracked I went from being a business owner of more than one business to I really need to put my money somewhere and create jobs. And so that's how real estate came about.
Wow. So when you say you had multiple businesses, can you give us a little bit more context to that?
So with I did the soap, and I still do the soap. I've also been in making baby clothes. So when
Baby
clothes, when my kids were little, I actually had a sewing machine, and I would make baby clothes, and I would make hair bows, and I would sell them to the public once a month at a flea market. And then my boy came along, and then that's when we did soap. And then as my kids got older, they wanted to also get into manufacturing and making and creating, because they know the profit margin of if you are the manufacturer and the salesperson.
The creator. Yeah.
Yes. So with that started with having a garden and pickling vegetables to making pies and jellies to eventually candy. And so now my kiddos also travel and then they sell their candy.
Also did.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So you basically did a lifestyle to a business, from a business to a lifestyle, basically.
Yes.
And you're literally been around the people, so you make whatever has to be made first for your kids.
Yes.
Right?
Mhm.
But then you show them how to actually open up their mind, literally, to be make it a business.
Right. Yes. And then with all of the traveling and the selling of your goods, you meet a lot of people that are doing the same thing as you. What kind of like carnies, so to speak. Like you're traveling, you're going from place to place with a trailer and you're just selling your stuff. Well, then you start meeting people and they're like, yeah, so we're going to leave our house here in Dallas and then we're going to go to our house in Cabo. And then we also have a house in Australia. And then you start asking questions like, how do you have all how do you afford? And then they're like, well, we buy real estate. So our money grows and then we also get to enjoy the house, but then we Airbnb it or short-term rent it for the remainder of the time when we're traveling.
Yeah.
So it started off something small. So these are just all entrepreneurs trying to navigate a small business, turned into something successful. And then where do you put your money to keep it growing? So again, lots of question asking and putting yourself in the right room and, trying to navigate how to not go backwards, because most small businesses, they'll fail.
Yeah.
They will fail. They will not be successful if you're not determined and always seeking new information how to grow.
Yes. It's like research shows that 85% of businesses fail within the first 5 years. How long have you had your business?
12 years.
12 years.
12 years.
So the ins and outs of
Oh, yeah.
that business. And I think one of the most important things is understanding a principle in business. And then you can literally run any company the exact same way.
You can.
Right? Whether you're selling soaps, whether you're selling houses, profit margins are bigger on the smaller product.
Right.
It's
Yes,
insane how
Yes,
it
they are.
works. However, it's all about the same, right? If you have no profits, you got no business.
Exactly.
So you got to understand that little concept there. And then that brings me to the next question. So how do your kids know about business? Just by seeing you? Did they actually go somewhere? Did they learn somewhere else? So it just
It's all
100%.
hands-on learning, watching. I'm an over communicator with my children. So they know the finances. They know exactly how much money we have because it is us. It's not mom's money and then children's money. We are a team. They have been with me. They have helped me. They have made product. They have sold product. They have worked the shows. They, have built relationships with other business owners and the customers the same. They know the ins and outs. They know what it takes. They know when mom's stressed because the money looks like this. They know when mom is happy because we have done this. So they know what the profit margins look like, why we try to buy at a lower cost, but why we don't take any shortcuts on ingredients because the customer base expects and we provide. If you try to take a shortcut, your customer base will go away. So they know the whole, from the finances to how important it is to maintain integrity, where we source our products from, how is that affecting the community or the people that we source our products from. Like they know everything.
Wow. You literally been successful not because of everything you know, but because of your big heart.
Yes, absolutely. It starts here.
Yeah.
Here and here. It absolutely starts here. Anybody can start a business, but they're buying you. When you're the front face and you're selling everything, they're absolutely buying you because there's no denying that. You can't hide when it's you and your children.
How important is it?
Yeah, it's so important.
How important? Because wow, it gave me a realization that a lot of business owners, successful business owners especially, they're more apart and away from their families than ever.
Yeah.
Because they give away everything to give it all to the business. In your case was 100% different.
No, I didn't want to do that. My kids were first priority.
Yeah.
So it was it wasn't how can I make a bunch of money? It was how can I still provide for my children, but I want to keep them with me. I do not want to put them in public school. Those are my children. I want to show them the way. I want them to know their worth. I want them to have courage and to be confident and to know that If I can do it, you can do it. There are no shortcuts. It's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of commitment. There's going to be challenges. We are going to sleep in the van. We are going to all sleep in one bed in a hotel room. Like, there was lots of sacrifices made. But they pushed through, and they wouldn't have it any other way.
Yeah, that's where the foundation is built, though.
For sure.
Right?
Yes.
Because like coming back to the business people is, well, I'm gonna do this for my kids to not suffer, for them my kids to not have this, and literally a lot of people just give them a credit card or something else, you know what I mean, and never show them how to work.
Oh, no.
Never put them in the trenches.
I don't think that that's kids like the struggle. They like to see things. They like to watch it unfold. I think you're doing a disservice if you hand them everything. If you're not talking about it, if you're not open, if you're not transparent, because if not, then they're left to fill in the blanks. However wild a child's mind can get is how creative they're going to get to try to navigate that story if you're not filling in the blanks for them. You have to tell them, okay, this week, kids, it's beans and cornbread, and we're sleeping in the van. Next week, we might get a Holiday Inn Express. Like, so they know, and it wasn't bad or terrible. It was, this is what it's going to be. But if you just tell them what's coming, then there's no blindsiding them, and they're not left to try to figure it out. You just be really transparent and communicate.
And that is business. I mean,
Yeah.
business is ups and downs. There's good days and there's bad days, right?
Yeah.
We were celebrating a couple of months ago, one of the biggest months of the year, like we ever had, right? And then a few months later, it's like, well, hey, literally, we're not even making our ends meet for overhead costs, and then a couple another months go by, and we're celebrating big things.
Oh, yeah.
But the biggest thing I think is how do you celebrate everything that happens when you're winning, right? Because every day there is challenges, good and bad. You're always winning, right?
Mhm.
You're always winning.
Mhm.
Maybe not in all areas, but you're winning in some areas.
For sure.
So the reason I say this is because I see so much happiness and joy in your life
Mhm.
that it doesn't matter how many struggles you've had. It looks like you always have had the positive mindset, no matter what. Guys, let me show you the bright side of everything.
All the time.
Let me just show you the bright side.
Yes. Because you can't stay focused on anything other than where you're going. Like, yes, what pushes you to be a better person and a better business owner and a better boss and all the things of where you're going is you remember what it was like when you were there, when you come from nothing, when you're down in the dumps, when you're like, we are so close to losing everything, but you don't. And that's like, that keeps you, that state of mind, that appreciation is what makes a really good business owner. The transparency, not only to yourself, but to your family and to the people who work for you. I mean, they know what to expect, and they know where you're going because they know where you've come from, and they know that you know how to maintain. So if you can maintain up to here, even if in the worst case scenario, something crazy happens, it doesn't matter. They know you're strong enough to get it again. Like, you'll get it again. You'll do it again. You'll build it again. Just hang with me on this roller coaster.
Yes, how powerful is that? Because
Very.
when people see that, it's like, well, you're not going to stop her.
No.
You're not going to stop her. And I think that's how life looks at you, too. Hey, just give it to her, bro.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We know she's going to show up and show out. It's like,
Yeah.
go ahead and give it to her. She knows what to do with it.
Yes. So everything that you're talking about is awesome, but there's a lot of things that probably have happened in your life previous to getting here. How were your teenage years like?
Oh, well, that's definitely motivation. Teenage years was colorful. My mom was married a lot. She had multiple marriages. And she was, as a single parent, doing the best that she could. And so we were left to kind of navigate and fend for ourselves. Now, she gave us a lot of good nuggets. Leave it cleaner than you found it. Don't hurt people, don't take their stuff. But she was still trying to navigate her experience at that time of, having all of these little kids and being stressed out and trying to provide for us. So teenage years were, it can make or break somebody. Mine, kids are mean. Kids are real mean. They're, if you succumb to like negative comments or something like that and you don't go, I'm going to show them. Mine was, we didn't have a lot. We had each other as siblings, but we didn't have a lot. But we were also raised in the country, and we just made do. And I always thought, well, no matter what, I'm going to be super successful because I know that not having a lot is hard. To raise kids and not being able to turn the electricity on because you can't afford the light bill is hard. 3-minute showers and beating on the door, get out, because you have all of these kids who have to shower and you know you can't afford the water bill. That's hard. That's what I didn't want. But also didn't want to raise entitled children. So teenage years absolutely paved the path for the tone that I was going to set for myself as far as who I chose to marry and what our desires were as far as success goes.
Wow. So how many siblings do you have?
So there's 5 of us total. So
Oh.
4 girls, 1 boy.
All close to each
All
other?
close. Yep.
So yeah, it was definitely difficult.
Yeah.
How was that environment though? Was it not healthy?
No, it was very toxic. Very toxic environment. A lot. You didn't know what was coming, what was going. You knew the amount of love that our mother had for us, but as far as like from one husband to the next husband to the next husband to the point where her second to the last husband, I remember we were standing on a balcony and my mom, met us at the bus stop and we came in, stood on the balcony and she was like, "Okay, kids, guess what? I have news for you." And I was like, "You're getting married." And she was like, "Now, honey, that is no way." And I'm like, she was so predictable by now because she was dealing with her own trauma and she couldn't maintain and, couldn't hold a marriage. But that's okay because all of that is just experiences for us to look at, to take with us in the future or not to take with us. And mine was, I am not going to be married 6 times. I am going to be a one and done, and I'm going to be strong and I'm going to be successful and I know my worth and I'm going to do all the things that it takes to try to stay as whole as possible.
Wow. And it's hard because I see where you're coming from. I mean, my parents have had a rough beginnings too, and I was listening to John Maxwell the other day, and he was talking about how we judge our parents, how we talk bad about them, or they didn't give me this, they didn't give me that, all this kind of stuff. But it's like, actually sit down for a second and think about that. How was your parents' life growing up? Do you hear them complaining? Do you hear them talking about bad about their parents? And I was reflecting. I was like, no, you know what I mean? Like I've never heard my dad say nothing bad about my grandparents or my mom.
Right.
The occasional here and there. Yeah, your grandma used to beat me, or I didn't have shoes like you guys did and stuff like that, but never in a way that we do it sometimes, And I don't know. It's a whole different perspective when I hear you talk because you're never talking bad about your mom. But you have raised amazing kids,
Mhm.
If you wouldn't have went through that, how would your life be today? How would your kids be today?
I appreciate the experience. Like I really value, like I've never had, when you get older and you start having children, it makes you appreciate your mother so much more than in those teenage years where you feel like the world is against you and you just don't understand and you're trying to navigate in your adolescent mind of what's happening. Well, there was a lot happening, but again, that experience is not anything that I would take back. I wasn't meant to go through that to be where I am today. And I tell my children, no matter how bad it is, everything that you're experiencing is going to help you share your story to somebody else who needs to hear it. It was meant for you. There's no other way around it. There's no going back. There's like, you can cry about it, but you're going to heal from it and you're going to overcome it so that you can share the good news with somebody else who needs to hear it.
Yes, I love that. So, did you go to college at all, or how?
I did. So I went to college. I went to a few junior colleges. I was actually accepted to the University of Montana.
Oh, wait.
When I was coming out of high school, and then my older sister moved to Houston, Texas, and asked me if I would move to Houston with her, because she was having babies. And so that changed a little bit, and I ended up going to Houston. But it's not anything that I wouldn't rearrange any part of my life. I wasn't meant to be in Montana. And so I went to Houston and then just started working and tried to pick up a few classes here and there. But in all of that, I realized that sitting in a classroom was not for me. Having somebody tell me to do this little checklist to show that I was capable of following rules and doing what I'm told to get a certificate was not going to validate me, because my work ethic and how I showed up spoke in in my opinion spoke volumes over a piece of paper saying that I was able to complete this task at hand. I can complete the task at hand. I don't need a piece of paper to show me or to tell me how to be a good worker or to be committed or to show up. Like that was and then the monetary part. Going to college is expensive. I mean, you have the world at your fingertips now. And even back then, 20 something years ago, I was like, I just cannot validate spending all of this money for a semester of taking, math when that's not where I want to be. Now, there is a place and, situations for people that want to go to college. But yeah, it wasn't for me. I tried.
Yes, I'm in the same boat. And you know what's so funny that we think about this kind of things all the time? Like, okay, well, college is expensive. Well, you know what else is expensive? All these courses we're buying, all these mentorships we're buying. I mean, you're part of the Paces community, not only one but two communities. The Sub
Yes.
2 Gator.
Yep.
Are you in any other
Substitute
mentorship?
Gator.
Are you any other mentorships? Okay, so literally, I mean, you spend a couple $1,000s on mentorships, right? So you're
Right.
paying for education.
For sure.
However, so true. College shows you one thing, right? But the education we're paying for now is completely different,
Oh, it's next level. I mean,
right?
it surpasses, because you're fast tracking yourself to where you want to be. The people that are either already doing it or are hungry enough to do it to where they will throw down thousands of dollars to get themselves in the same room with people
Yeah.
of where they want to be and they see themselves, or they know they have something to offer, and to try to navigate that over years when now you have these things, these mentorships that you can buy into. Like, to me, there's no greater reward for where I wanted to be and to be around the people instantly, like instantly. And I absolutely would have spent that on college. But again, like all of the hours and the effort that I would have spent to try to prove my worth, when if you're putting your money where your mouth is, you are immediately dropping yourself into a room of valuable people.
Yeah.
And so it's just a fast track.
Yes. I think one of the biggest valuable lessons I've ever learned is that you have to invest. You have to invest. Whether it's your money, whether it's your time, you have to invest in yourself in order for you to go to the next level.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
And when I heard that one time, I remember I was like, okay, well, what does that mean? I didn't even know that there was mentorships, and I didn't know there was mentors and none of that. And now fast track to today, I mean, I started reading books and YouTube videos, right? That's how I started learning personal development. But now fast track to now, I've met and I've sat with people in let's say the last 6 months that personally have paid over. I mean, one guy that I know spent $250,000 every 6 months with one person. There's another guy that spends $100,000 a year with another mentor. There's a couple that are paying $250,000 per year for their mentorship. So when they say college is expensive, it's actually not expensive. The value is not there, though.
Right. No.
The value is not there. I think that's the biggest thing, right? The
For
value is
sure.
not.
Like the ROI just on college is not there.
No.
It's not going to get you where you want to be. It's not going to get you to your destination, which is, if, like, in my 20s, if I would have known that these groups were available, I would have absolutely put my money there. But again, you're trying to navigate and you don't know because you haven't researched enough, or you weren't ready to fast track to get to where you needed to be. You weren't in the right room. And so to put yourself in the right room is so powerful. So powerful.
Yes. And then something else, I mean, I don't want to just talk about all the money and stuff, but also there's people that see everything, you know? There's people that see what you're doing, what you're working on all the time. So sometimes it's all about your actions, you know? Everything's all about their actions, because I don't know about you, but I have people that I'm helping and mentoring to become a better version of themselves. And literally there's sometimes you're in a room with 20 people, and 18, 19 of them are on their phone just, texting. But then you got that one very hungry person, you know?
Sure.
So, Brent Daniels, you know who Brent Daniels is?
I do.
he actually hosts an event at his house once a year. And he says that people who want to come to his house has to have liquid cash in their bank account over $10 million. He says they pay me. I don't ask for money, but they had to show me their bank statement where it says they have $10 million liquid.
Yeah.
And they were doing a whole spiel about this, but he was saying the power it has on the minds that are on that level.
Mm-hmm.
He says if there's someone making $9 million a year, will not think as a person that's making $10 million a year.
It's true.
And
it's
it's
so
true.
It's so true.
So true, isn't
Yes, it absolutely is. I mean, that mindset is so powerful.
Yes. Here's the other thing, though. What about that person that is making $1 million? That person that's making $100,000, but that has a mentality to make that 10 million.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be surprised how fast that person makes it to the 10.
Oh, for sure. Goal oriented, and to it's relatable. So if they can do it, I can do it. Now that I see firsthand that if I can do that and I can put myself in that room, I mean, then you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. You just have to put yourself. You have to network. You have to reach. You have to set crazy goals and know that you can do it. It can be accomplished. Just don't quit. And if you're thinking about quitting, again, put yourself around somebody who has the energy to help you sustain and not forget who you are and what drives you. I mean, we all have bad days. We all come from nothing or failed businesses, but the whole end game is don't quit and put yourself around people who are going to lift you up in those times.
So powerful.
Yes.
What would be one time or one moment that you said, you know what, I'm ready to quit? You know when you're in that moment.
Oh yeah. So it was probably my children were little and they were all in car seats. All in car seats. 4 kids in diapers. And I was so overwhelmed. I was very sad. I didn't know how to break away from the cycle that I was in because I mean, I just had babies and I wanted them to see a very happy, healthy, non-sad mom. That's when I started saving money and realizing that money is going to be the only thing that's going to get me out of this. Is I'm going to have to find a way to try to put back money, save money, and still raise my children to be happy and healthy and to see
best resource.
Yeah, absolutely. So instead of driving off of the bridge, which was going to be the alternative, because if I made it look like that I didn't do it on purpose, then it would be justified and nobody would think poorly of me, right? Like these are real thoughts that I had in my head.
That's so true.
They're all buckled in car seats. I remember looking in the rearview mirror and I was going over a bridge and I thought if I just accidentally go overboard, then there's nobody to be mad at. There's nobody to blame. They'll think it was just an accident. I won't look weak. I won't look like that I succumb to depression. All of the things that moms go through. This is real. I mean, we have postpartum. We're overwhelmed. Children are a lot. If the husbands aren't participating and you don't have a very healthy relationship, then you're just left to navigate and try to figure out those emotions while still changing diapers and sleepless nights and earaches and all of that. So that I would say that was probably the hardest time. And I made big moves after that in here. I couldn't quite do it financially yet, but here I was like, I'm not going to quit. I'm never going to quit on them. And so reading books, back then it was YouTube. And I just started watching videos on how to make money from home and how you can overcome depression and how to have your money make money. It took a long time. They were little. I mean, my oldest one's 30 now. My youngest one's 13. They were in car seats. So it's a long journey of going, I'm not going to fail them. I'm not going to fail me. I didn't have all these beautiful children to quit. So, and then here we are today. And they get to watch their mom and now they're business owners and all because I didn't quit and I had to learn how to be successful.
How rewarding is to see your kids.
So I love them. They're my everything. Everything I do is for them and they know it. and they're appreciative. And again, they've been through the struggles with me. So every bit of everything that we have, they know it's just as much theirs as it is mine. I never say it's all of ours. So they get to reap all of the benefits. So not just the stuff that you can put your hands on, but here and here, to watch me overcome and to watch me go through all of the hard things is the best thing they could have ever seen. I'm glad they weren't spoon-fed. I'm glad that, we didn't come from money. I'm glad that it took us to get here, because these are the stories that are relatable to where other people can see that if I can do it, they can do it. If I can overcome, then you can absolutely overcome. You just got to put yourself around the right people and take in the right information. Read the right books and don't quit. Just don't quit.
Yes. This is a great moment to just be appreciative of all the content that's been out there. It takes a lot of courage to make videos and all that, especially to those ones that like talking about suicides and talking about anxieties and talking about all those different things that have happened. Because as you're speaking right now, you could speak out of experience, right?
Yeah.
And the people that make an impact is people that have been there, and people that are spoon fed will never experience that. Never experience that. I mean, those moments when you're like at that bridge, you see the rear view mirror is like the kids are there, and then it's crazy how your mind just takes over that, right? Because you want the best for them, but then you also know like this is the time I could possibly quit. This is the time where I could possibly get out of this, right?
Yeah.
And as a parent, I think it's so true. It's sometimes you do want to give out. Sometimes it's like, I just got so much weight over my shoulder.
Well, the weight of the world is on your shoulders, especially if you love your children unconditionally.
Yeah.
And you know the responsibility that it takes to clothe them, to give them good food. But not only that, so not just providing with things that you put in their hand, but you have to be strong here, and you have to not take it out on them. It's not their fault. Nothing is their fault. They didn't ask to be brought here. They did not ask for all the chaos and the uprooting and the sleepless nights and the yelling, and they didn't ask for any of that. But how are you going to show them that this was our situation, but we didn't stay there? Like, we are not going to stay
That's
there.
where the power is.
Absolutely. Because that's not breaking a cycle. I still did not want to do what my mom did, the path that she chose. And because she chose that path, it showed me that I don't want to be going from person to person to person. I want my kids to see that no matter what, we can get through this. Very lovingly and financially, we can do it because we're a team. And until they got old enough to be my little helpers, I did it. Like, I did whatever it took. And I'm thankful.
That is so awesome. I mean, I was the only boy in my family. I was the main boy, and I was the oldest. So my dad's family, my mom's side of the family. So there's a lot of weight when you're the representation of the house. And even to today, I mean, I go back home and I see where everybody is at sometimes, and it's so sad. So sad to see that they don't want to overcome. There's people I literally do not want to see.
Yeah.
And that's even the hardest.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I tell my wife every day is like, okay, I can't change the world, right? But I know that I could definitely change myself, which literally could bring to other people changing the way they do things, right?
Oh, but look at your influence. How do you think you got me here today?
Right?
So you are changing the world. You absolutely are. Because for me to stop what I'm doing and to take time because you left such a lasting impression, I mean, you are changing the world. You got to give yourself more credit.
Yeah, maybe. However, it's like, okay, well, where can we actually make a more of an impact? Is like you're saying, literally being in the trenches with your people. We are building a big, massive team here in our business, and it's like I was talking to the boys the other day. It's like, okay, what do we need to do, right? And one of the very first questions, like first thing that popped out in the meeting was, okay, we need to delegate. I was like, no, sir, we do not need to delegate. Number one thing we got to do is we got to get our hands dirty first.
Oh, for sure.
Let's show them how to do it, right?
Yep.
Recruiting was a big thing for us, and it's like, well, you know what? I don't want to recruit. I don't want to put a job posting out there. I want people to come and ask me for a job. It's hard to say and or easy to say sometimes, as far as like, well, I'll just bring people from all over the United States. Now, those people have to be attracted to you. Now in our business, it's been amazing. We're being blessed because we have people from all over the world that want to work with us. I have most of my team is in the Philippines, but it's like most of my team brings other people to us. You know what I mean? Because they want to be part of something big.
Oh, that's when you know you're doing it right.
You know what I mean? They want to be part of something big, and now I could just see that you want to do the same thing. You want to put a business around a person. You don't want to put a person in a business. You want to put a business around that person.
Right.
And I think that's so powerful. How do you do that? How do you find that people for yourself?
Well, I think that I don't really have to recruit people. They come to me. I really don't have to go out and look for people. They come to me. I have people that are reaching out on Facebook. I have people that are coming into the store. I have people that are like, can I just tour your facility? Which is hence why I'm here. They just want to be a part of something that they see as working, and they're drawn to it. So hiring has never really been hard for me. I have to turn people down all the time, which I don't want to do. I want to create jobs. I'm in the business of creating jobs. I want to provide money to households. Being the background that I come from, it was hard to try to navigate. Where am I going to go? What am I going to do? I knew I had the drive, but it's like, who's going to provide a job for me with all of my children? No one. So I had to create that. Whereas I have 2 women that work for me, and they're absolutely allowed to bring their children. Like here, I love it. As soon as I walk in, I see this very family oriented. As long as they can do the tasks at hand and they are not distracted, because again, the kids need to see that, the mom is mission driven and she has a goal. I think that the hiring part and the attracting people starts with what you stand for, and it's going to be contagious. When people hear of a good thing, they're absolutely going to try to recruit. You won't even have to recruit. You're the ones that you got on board will be telling their friends to come. So I think that that's a big deal, to setting the standard and knowing what you're looking for and what you're willing to, like having kids. One of the first people I hired, she actually had a newborn baby. I said, would you be willing to hire anybody that has a baby? I said, well, do you breastfeed? And she said, yes. I said, absolutely. Because breastfed babies are the best babies.
That's funny. That was an interview question.
Yeah, absolutely it was. Because really, in mom to mom and where I came from,
you understand.
It's so important to be able to be raw and honest, because they're gonna cry less, and their mom's gonna be right there. They're gonna be wearing the baby, and she's been with me for a year since I opened, the storefront downtown. She's been with me over a year. And she has been the front face of a lot of people that walk through that door, along with her beautiful baby.
That is so awesome. Yes, there's just another vibe to kids and all that good stuff. And I love it. Yeah, you're right. And when it comes to the real estate, what are you actually working on? What are you doing right now?
So right now I've actually partnered up with people, because I realized that is as big as my drive is and my ability to do a lot of things, you can do a lot more if you have the right team.
Yes.
So to be able to look at deals, to be able to network. I thought that I knew a lot of people. I mean, I know a lot of people, but then when you put 4 people together in the same room and you think that you don't have a resource for something that you're needing for a project, then one of those people knows someone. So right now we are just looking into investing more, taking on more co-living. Co-living, fix and flip, wholesaling. So we're kind of, because we all have a background of different areas, we didn't decide to hone in on one thing. It's whatever's going to get us to the end game, which is going to be large multifamily. Yeah. So that's what we're doing right now.
Okay, so you guys are actually walking towards multifamily, large development stuff. Okay, I love that.
Yeah.
So, co-living, fix and flipping.
Yep. Wholesaling.
Wholesaling.
Wholesaling, yes.
You wholesale yourself?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you bring deals to the
Yeah.
table as well?
Yes.
Awesome. How can people reach out and help you? What do you say, like, "Hey, if you could help me with this, or if you have a deal that looks like this, what would be the best case scenario for you?"
So we do love bird dogging. So if you're into bird dogging and you need today money and you have a deal in your area, something that is not loved or needs a little bit of love, or if you know somebody that's in a bind, even pre-foreclosure, any way that we can help and bring a solution to those that have issues with either land or a pre-foreclosure, a fix and flip, if they're recently going through a divorce. The end goal with real estate is, yes, you want to make money, but you're in the business of helping people. So helping people get out of a sticky situation, because I personally went through a foreclosure and the experience was horrific. It was nasty. And so again, the reason that real estate was, I ran across a YouTube video and they were talking about pre-foreclosure. So before I would try to put my money somewhere, I didn't run across a video. And it was somebody trying to help somebody get out of foreclosure. That wasn't the experience that I had. The experience that I had was, give us your house because you're going to lose it anyway. So why would you not give it to us?
Oh, I see that approach they came.
Yes. And it was an investor. So my experience with an investor was very, very tacky, degrading. My children were small. I was pregnant.
Oh,
And we were getting foreclosed on. They were putting our stuff out in the ditch. And I got a phone call. And he's like, well, they're already putting your stuff out. I can see it. Why don't you just sell it to me? And then in that instance, I was like, if I can't have it, nobody can have it. So there was no communication. I didn't know what the solution was going to be. I was young and naive and we were getting foreclosed on. I had small children. So other things were the bigger picture, other than trying to learn how to let this gentleman help me. He wasn't offering a solution. It was, give it to me. You can't have it anyway. You can't afford it. They're
wow.
putting your stuff out. So that was also always in the back of my mind, that if I ever knew somebody that was going through a situation like that, I would absolutely help them. And I would be transparent and I would let them know what our intentions are. Like, yes, we do have the money to help you and we can help you. Which direction would you like to go? We have all of these options for you. Like, let's communicate and get to the root of it, because these transactions, some of them are emotional. Like, they're very invested in their home. That's their home. Or they inherited land and they just don't know what to do with it. And then some people are extremely money driven. And again, we can come to a happy medium and make magic happen.
I love that. And just for a little bit of education, since you did want to be a teacher,
Yes.
what is a bird dog? Can you explain to our audience what's a bird dog?
So a bird dog is somebody that if you happen to be out and about and you see something that it was mentioned by somebody who invests in real estate and you want to be a part of that and you want to make money, then you can bring a deal, what we would call a deal, to an investor. So if you are a pizza delivery person or you jog your neighborhood and you see that there's a house that could use some love, or you are picking up on the fact that maybe somebody's in a sticky situation, a foreclosure, a divorce, and maybe they just want to offload their house because they can't afford it anymore, then we would like to come in and offer a solution, which means that we have the money to be able to take over the home and then offer to either relocate them or just take that burden off of them, with everybody being happy. The whole point of real estate is that everybody's happy. That the person in the pickle is happy, the investor is happy. It's just this beautiful thing that comes. It doesn't have to be anything other than, let's help each other. Let us help you and then you help us.
Yes, I think that's the most important thing. And the one of the main reasons I love real estate, it's all about win-win, right?
Yes.
If you ever feel like it's a win-lose scenario, you're never going to make a deal.
And then that's not for you. That's not then your intentions aren't good. They're not good for you. They're not good for them. So even if you think that you're winning big on a real estate deal, but your intentions are bad, you're not winning. You're not winning.
And I think that's one of the main reasons that people don't make it in real estate. Because, I mean, just talking to people, 9 out of 10 people that get into real estate that fail are people that are in here for the big money, right? Oh, well, we saw one house, we can make that $20,000 check or $10,000 check. Even social media, that's like the hook, you would call it, right? That's what you promote.
Big numbers.
I made this $10,000 check. Here's the check number.
Yep.
Reality is, the bigger the problem, the bigger the check. The bigger the problem, the more things you have to fix.
Right.
Right? And sometimes it's not even in the house. Sometimes it's the emotional side.
Sure.
And that's probably harder I have a customer that I'm working right now has over $150,000 in equity, right? Can't go to the bank, can't refinance. There's so many different things that could go wrong with this deal, right?
Yeah.
However, he has $150,000 in equity. So everybody that comes into it is like, well, let's eat up to that equity. It's like, no, bro, that's not what we do.
Yeah.
That's not how it works. That equity, that guy has lived in the house for over 25 years, has paid so much money, there's a reason that he has that equity. So I'm not going to just let anyone come in, be part of the deal just because there's money on the table.
Oh yeah, they just flash the dollar signs.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's just not how it works. Anyways, but I'm going to make that deal work, right? So it's like, how can we be like that all the time? And there's people that are not like that, right? When they present the deal to the investors, like, hey, Mr. Investor, check this out. You're going to make X amount of money, right? Instead of being like, hey, Mr. Investor, check this out. This is the problem we have.
Yeah.
The problems actually come out when you're in the ready for the paperwork. That's when the problems come out, every deal I've seen. What's your experience with that?
So I'm really good at communicating with any kind of property that we're going to walk into. So I think just being real, there's scripts that you can use. I've never used a script. I've never used a script. My strong suits are talking, closing, and I'm basically a closer. Like the closer is, I don't have a problem in the world being transparent. Somebody telling me no is not going to hurt my feelings. Somebody cussing me out and being vulnerable and showing their emotions, it's not going to hurt my feelings. It's actually going to help me help them.
Wow.
So having the ability to listen and to see, yes, dollars are great because dollars is a reward for what you're offering this person. So if you have the ability to sit still and to listen and to take time and to get emotionally involved and be transparent and be vulnerable with them, that's when the reward comes. And sometimes it is in the form of money, and that's great. That just means for the next person that's in that situation, you have the ability to do that over and over and over. To me, that's what real estate is. It's not just having this big magic number in your bank. It's like, how did you get there? What were you willing to sit through, to hold hands, hold space, listen, love on? That's the reward, is the bank account, so that you can continue to do it, because not everybody has the knowledge of how to save themselves. You have to have the leaders. You have to have those that can go above and beyond. That's what we're here for. That's what we're built for. And then we also teach those that are allowed to do it. You want to teach them. Those younger people that are coming in, they have the drive. There's people that are out there that have already done the work and they have the money, but they don't know how to have their money working for them. Well, we can show you how to do that also.
I absolutely love that. So true.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you're looking for a closer, someone that will make your deal go through, making sure that understands the pain points, not just the dollars behind it, get contact.
Absolutely.
Where can they get in contact?
So you can reach me. My email is Tristan@righteousonyx.com. RIGHTEOUSONYX.com.
Perfect. I'll be dropping that email here on the comments down below, so make sure you guys stay tuned for that. If you need any type of help on the real estate, you probably know how to fix it, or
put you in touch with somebody.
put it on.
Absolutely. We're here to help. Yes.
I love that.
Everybody wins.
With that being said, who would be someone that you would like to spotlight? Someone who maybe doesn't want to be out put in public, or someone that would probably never do a podcast or something like that, but is actually putting in the work, doing a lot of the things in private.
I would say Rob Solomon. He is actually somebody that I lean into because he is quiet. He's quiet, but he's stealth, and he's got experience, and he's done the work, and he is very financially savvy. So he's built an amazing reputation for helping others build money in the form of being an accountant. And then whenever the company that he helped build up and held afloat and made them hold themselves accountable, when it started to go to the wayside, that's when he got into investing. And he is just a sound mind. I lean on him. I appreciate him. I value him. He's a great listening ear. He is a man of God. He is a man of integrity. He's just solid through and through. I can't say enough about him.
That is so awesome. I love it. Can you repeat his name one more time, full name?
So Rob, R-O-B, Solomon. Let me make sure I'm going to spell his name right because I don't want to chop it up.
The reason I'm asking is because people are going to start searching him up, and I
Oh,
think
for
that
sure.
everybody should have contact with the right people, you know?
Salmeron.
Perfect.
Yes.
Guys, go check them out. Go give them some love. If you guys are looking to do deals, you guys know where to reach us and how to make everything happen, right?
That's right. We're headed to make
Appreciate
it.
that.
Yes, I appreciate it too.
I love this podcast. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please share, like, comment, subscribe, and everything you have to do. I don't know what else we do on these podcasts. However, we want to reach the world, and the only way we can do it is if you help us. Thank you so much for listening, and we can't wait till the next one.
Yes. Excellent.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Good job.